How are you? This is Shannon Grunich. Let me take off my headset. I'm still helping our, I'm so excited, one of our guest presenters tonight that'll be joining us. We have Josh with Rock, Paper, Simple. And Josh, hold on just a second. Hopefully he can get help getting in here. So we have Ceci, we have Donna, welcome ladies. We have Joyce is also one of our mentors and presenters. So Ceci and Donna, welcome. Go ahead and say hi in the chat room and you can join us. If you remember, this is very interactive. We love collaborating, we love connecting, and we're really here to coach and mentor. So please join us in the chat room. You can request to be a speaker. Let's see here. So tonight we have Joshua Adams. He's marketing focused, website, brand identity, digital marketing, and he is awesome at, his word is awesome, I love it, at really helping you look awesome. And then Joyce, I'm gonna have you introduce yourself while I help Josh get on, if you don't mind. Oh, hi, Tony. So Donna, I added you as speaker. Tony, I added you as a speaker. Joyce, can you hear me okay? I can hear you though. Oh, yay, there we go. Okay, we've got Josh. Yay, you made it.
I did. I was sitting on the moderator panel wondering what the heck I was supposed to do. Nothing's working. Oh, I clicked the wrong link. I'm smart, I promise.
Awesome. So those of you that are just joining us, this is Mastermind Monday, and what we do is we come together to collaborate, and we focus on the 4 things that I found that accelerate any business. And if you're just joining us, I'm going to mute you if there's a background noise. Hi, Donna. Welcome. And so the 4 things to accelerate your business, what I found, and please, if you find other things, please. Oh, Donna, I'm going to keep muting you, sweetie. We're getting feedback on you. Here we go. So the first thing is your elevator pitch, being able to articulate, and Joyce is going to come up with a different name instead of elevator pitch, or letting people know who you are clearly, quickly, and able to articulate that in a way that's magnetic and getting people to want to know more and to want to learn about you and be inspired to ask questions. So that's one of the things that we work on here. We invite everybody that joins us to share their elevator pitch. This is a great opportunity for free press because we have lots of people signed up for the replay, and then not only do we get to coach and work with you, but exposure, the collaborate and partner with, because when we come together and do and actions and stuff like that. So Joyce is actually joyceventures.com. She is a joint venture strategist and an expert, and really grateful, Joyce, that you're here. So I'm going to have the 2 mentors start out and share a little bit about themselves. But let me go through the other. The third one is to have mentors and coaches, because we only know what we know, and sometimes we don't know what we don't know. And it's having that outside person really get a different perspective, get a different view, and be able to share that. And so Joyce and Joshua, and we, many times have different people join us, have donated their time tonight to be here to help you and support you. And myself, I love marketing, I love communities, do events, and I have an amazing Rolodex. I like putting people together, so that's a way that I coach and mentor people. And then the fourth thing is Mastermind, and this is Napoleon Hill, Think and Grow Rich. This is really old. I'm going to use the word technology, but it's not, this is what we do when we come together. So tonight we're also here to Mastermind. Now I know some of the individuals on the replay did put in their goals, and the goals or challenges, so we will address that as we get going. So thank you for submitting those, and we will definitely address those. So just getting started out, I'm going to go ahead and have Josh, if you would be so kind to say hello, share a little bit about yourself, and we're going to let you shine.
Sure, absolutely. You can hear me good?
Yes, can hear you perfectly.
Excellent, excellent. I was having some connections issues at the beginning of it. Want to make sure. All right, well, I'm Joshua Adams. I am the head honcho over at Rock Paper Simple. We are a digital marketing agency. We specialize in marketing-focused solutions, branding, websites, all the fun stuff that helps drive traffic and make businesses grow. It's fun stuff. So the element of my job that I get to do that I love the most is helping businesses go from point A to point B, whatever that may be. A lot of times that's helping with the brand stuff, but during the business summit I got to do a lot of that. It was funny, I came in more as the web guy and did a lot more branding during the event than I thought, which again, is probably the thing I enjoy the most anyways. So whether it be building a brand and helping them tell their message, or it be building a website that helps convert that traffic into sales, or be working on driving the traffic. That's what we do, what I do. I don't know how far you want me to get into it now, Shannon, but is that about what you're looking for?
Yeah, but if you have other things to share, go ahead and share. This is
absolutely. The unique factor of what I do is because I am in marketing and I am in branding, etc., that there's already an element there of how I can help people, but because of the path that I took to get there, I think in a lot of ways uniquely qualifies me to help growing companies that are taking it to the next step, because I did that. I came from that. I mean, I've been an entrepreneur all my life, but I mean, I had my first web agency in my parents' garage, not knowing anything about branding or marketing. I just was building websites, and then from there, merging that company with a marketing agency years later, learning branding and marketing, losing that company to a crooked partner, and having to rebuild. And that was really the moment where I believe I learned the most and began to have the most to offer, because I went from zero and I had to rebuild. And I was not willing to wait years and years and years to do it again, and so I hit the ground running, had to build my own brand from the ground up, work my own PR, work my own marketing, work my own magic there, build a team, and here we are 3.5 years later from me literally having $700 to my name, and I have a team of 10, a beautiful 2,200 square foot office here, and we're making traction every day. So it's just a fun story, because I can sit down with business owners and say, I get it, I know where you're at, and I can help you go where you're going, and I have the vehicle to do it with the team that I have here. So that's just a fun story I like to tell. I mean, it's years in the making, and only so much I can tell in a few minutes, but it allows me, it gives me the passion not only to grow the company here, but to help other companies grow.
One of the things, and you'll definitely, I'm sure, affirm this, is that we're always learning and growing.
I'm actually
somebody
not.
Said, you're taking. You're not hearing me. Oh no! Can you hear me now?
Yeah. Can you
hear me now?
Yeah, you're real broken up. Does everybody? I don't know if everybody else is getting that, but I'm getting the video keeps cracking out. Is that just me?
Okay.
No, it's the same thing here too. Yeah, I'm actually not hearing much of what you're saying, honestly. And it's actually, yeah, I'm seeing the video. Yeah, exactly, Joy. I can't hear Joyce, but she's. I think their video moving just fine. Yours is really distorted.
Okay, so Joyce, do you want to go next? Oh, Joyce, you're muted.
No audio.
Okay. No audio still. Okay. Tony, can you hear me? Do you want to go ahead and share next? And just, can you hear me okay now, Josh?
I can hear you now.
Okay, perfect. So those of you that are in the chat room and you're not able to join us via video, then go ahead and put in your elevator pitch or your website or any comments or questions that you have in the chat room, and we'll let everybody know. So feel free to do that. Tony, would you, and Josh, I know this is your first time joining us, so you have 100% permission to pop in, take over, help in any way possible. So it's, we focus on the elevator pitch, and then we get right into Mastermind and supporting each other.
Mm-hmm.
So Tony, go ahead, and you're up.
Okay, how's everybody doing tonight? Tony Castillo with Make It Personal Marketing, do direct mail marketing. Got over 20 years experience in print and direct mail marketing. Really excited times now. My business is going into several, it's kind of expanding. So I'm actually getting into integrated marketing, where I'm finding my niche markets are clients where they have a lot of content, whether it's video, blogging, offline stuff, but things aren't connecting, and I'm finding a good niche for me where I can help them connect and get their message out, and even adding some other services like email marketing or some funnel building that I'm getting into now also. So I have a few partners that I'm working with, project to project. So I'm excited about that. I actually have I picked up one new account. Got 2 proposals out there, and I have one new appointment tomorrow with a new startup with organic farming, which is pretty interesting, pretty cool. So I'm excited about that too. So things are popping, little by little, and my bread and butter is still print and direct mail, and with verbal data. So I do that a lot. I don't know if Josh gets into that with his clients, but I can definitely collaborate with you on that kind of things if you don't have anyone. But anyway, again, I've been doing it for over 20 years here in Brevard County, and I'm excited to work with Shannon. I've been at a few of the BSAs, and excited about that. And that's been a godsend. I found a coach there that I've been working with, Ernie Chu. So that's helped a lot for me too.
Awesome. Thank you, Tony. Yeah, Tony is great. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah.
Tony is great at really honing in. Obviously you've got a lot of great things you're doing there. One of the things I know from Tony is really targeting your niche when it comes to direct mailing and connecting that to the web. And so I know when my husband and I sat down and met with you, was so impressed on how really you can hone in on who we want to be in front of. It's not just this vast, let me just send out these mailers to everybody. But just really honing in on what we need and how to get the results. So thank you for joining. Thank you for coming. And so Joyce, we're still not hearing you, and it's saying not muted. So you may need to sign out and sign back in. Might be it.
It is good, but no audio.
And I know we have Ceci on the line, and Ceci has Anytime Travel. Hi, Ceci. Please share any information in the chat room. Ceci is just great with anything to do with travel. She also has an awesome blog. She travels all over the world. This woman, if you want to do something unique, yes, please, Ceci, anything that you want to share, we would love to read that out loud. But if you're thinking about traveling to a foreign country, I know I'm working with her about doing a conference on the cruise, and this woman has experience in all different ways of creating those remarkable moments with your family, with your team, and whatever you may need. We also have Donna, and I have so many Donnas in my life. Donna. I don't know if it's
noticed that actually. It's really quite confusing.
I don't know if it's Donna Anselmo, who's a best-selling author with McGraw-Hill, or a radio host, or which Donna. So please say hi in the chat room. I'm happy to give each of you a plug. Ceci, I inspire people to take action and create remarkable memories. Yes, you do. And will you put your website also, Ceci? I think it's anytimetravel.com, but I know you have a blog we'd love to hear about, too. So, here we go, Joyce. 2 times is a charm. We're hoping so.
No, no.
Oh, I know. I know sign language.
I don't.
You don't. Oh. Okay, so Joyce, while you keep working at it, we'll whenever you come in, we will definitely chime in and look forward to hearing you. Joyce is one of our featured presenters in the next Business Acceleration Summit. So is Josh, and they both are. One of the things with the Business Acceleration Summit is I feel like I've hand-selected individuals that are masters at their skill. Put people first. I'm touching my heart because I know that they really come from the heart, and what's important to them is really, they're not gonna work with individuals that aren't a good match or that they can help, but they also really they're going to deliver what they say. They're action people. If they say they're going to do something, they're going to do it, and they're really into community. So I think they're such perfect matches with everything that we have going on, and living. These individuals are living and breathing the 4 principles of accelerating your business. So Joyce is still working on that. Joyce, you want to say hi again? Okay, so let's get right into the mastermind. So I have a couple of questions here, but I want to help the people that are definitely on the line. Does anybody have a goal or a challenge? And Josh and Joyce, even though you're mentors, this is also a time for you too. One of the things we know from the summit is that I know, Joyce, last time you asked for a lead to a designer and somebody in the industry, in the design industry. And so even if there's things that you need, I know you're here to showcase, to help other people, but we're also would love to be able to give to you too. So if there's a special request that you have or something that you need, please feel free to make that request. So let's get right into the mastermind and see if, you're more than welcome to work on your elevator pitch and support you. So who wants to go first? In the back office. Do you want to share your website? Your website in the chat room too. It's Rock Paper Simple.
I can't hear you anymore, by the way. I heard Rock, Paper, Simple.
But he's I don't know if you can hear me now.
I heard hear me now. Hear me now!
I am making so what I said is please type your website into the chat room so that everybody can see what that is.
Done.
Okay, perfect. And I'm making sure everybody's off Wi-Fi in my house. I should have did that. I'm sorry, because that's obviously pulling from my bandwidth. Okay, so Josh is brighter and clear. Joyce is muted for me. Shannon comes and goes. I have a question about secure forms for websites. Is that pertinent? Secure forms for websites. Okay. That one for Can anybody hear me? Am I talking to myself?
I heard, can anybody hear me? That's the last thing.
Yay! Oh
Something about
Okay.
secure web forms, and then I'm assuming this is to me, but then I lost you, so I don't know what the question.
no! Okay, so and each of us can add to this for web forms. But yes, Josh, I would love for you to contribute. It says, Ceci, my website is under new development. When it goes live, it'll be, oh, this is Tony, personal marketing. So I know that if you're, there's HIPAA compliant that need to be secured. I know that, oh, there's Ceci. Yay! So we can actually ask you questions about secure websites, secure forms.
Yes.
What form?
Come and go. So I hope I can follow. I just wasn't sure if it's pertinent today in the mastermind, but I have this situation with two websites. One provide I pay for a secure form, an SSL form, and I collect their credit cards from clients and all their information. But that website is very behind. It's just not mobile, or when it's mobile, it's not good. The blog is terrible. So I want to get out of that hosting. But the new one that I like, and it is actually doing pretty good because they have a very active and good travel content, they do not support the forms. So they tell me that that is easy, that I should just go and find another, create another form, secure it, and do it. But they don't store the information. With the other website, I was able to log in my dashboard and scroll through customers and do it. So I have been paying for two websites for 4 years, and it's time for me to cancel one. And according to an analysis, I should keep the one that is newer with nice content, but I need to collect the information in this secure way. So I was wondering if anybody has any ideas for where to, what third party, because the hosting that I'm keeping tell me that I should use a third party for that. So I don't know where.
Right. Well, actually, there's a lot of variables here to consider, and I'm only going to go off of what I've already heard. But you always have to be careful when collecting credit card information. So if your form is collecting credit card information, you can log into a dashboard and see it. That scares me, right? The first thing I'm thinking is, oh, we got to be careful. Make sure an SSL certificate doesn't necessarily mean that your data is secure. Okay. An SSL certificate, all that means is that transfer of data between a form and another page is secure.
Correct.
So it doesn't mean your database is any more secure than on any other site. So if I've got a non-SSL and I've got an SSL, put my hands in the camera, the data and the database is not any more secure than the other. It's the transfer of that data that's more secure. So what you have to ask yourself when it comes to security, is my data safe? Is that secure? So now your website, the old one, that's storing credit card information in a database?
Yes, but it's my own form. It's a form that they're saving. It's not that they have a place in a cloud in my server with them that I go and dig in these secure forms.
Okay, but this tool, is this the third party that does this? That's what they...
No, it's
a website with hosting that they're storing credit cards.
Yes.
Okay, so that you definitely want to have a different solution. Excuse me. You're one hack away from disaster. So I would be very, very careful with that and make a decision on how you want to store credit card information in the future. We do a lot of business.
That's not the only place. I do have a CRM system.
Okay.
The CRM system that is secure that's with all the, in my 30 years of career, never ever any thousands of clients complain about it. So
Of course.
the,
Okay.
the actual database complete is there. This is yes.
Okay.
So that's not my no, I don't have all my eggs in that nest. It's just kind of like that's the easy way for me that I could collect complete information, not just a little link in my web.
Right, right. That makes sense. Okay, so the information is being stored in the CRM, not the website.
Yes.
Ah, okay. That big difference. Big difference.
Yes, sorry.
No, that's okay.
After it goes from my website, we actually download it and put it in our CRM system.
Okay.
We could do a transfer from Excel to Excel, but we just didn't find it that easier for us. So we just have it that way. So the actual master database is in the CRM system. But at this moment, the CRM system doesn't offer me a specific link to go directly from my web to them.
Oh, okay. Which CRM are you using?
It's a client base. It's a Sabre product.
I'm not familiar with that one. Okay.
Yes,
Yeah, I mean, ideally, your CRM would have some sort of form to put it right into the CRM. That way, you're not playing with the data in between.
I already asked. They gave me a report form. They have, and this is what happens. The CRM system charges if I want them to directly collect information. Charges extra. I already pay monthly with them. But if I want, this is called touch-based system, and the touch-based system is another monthly payment. There they will actually collect even the marketing codes for all my clients, if they're golfers, if they're fishing. It's a beautiful and complete system. I'm just not there yet to pay even more than I already pay.
Right, right.
That's why they're not going to volunteer me forms or anything like that.
Anytime you have secure data and whatnot, it becomes a real complex system as to how do I store this data, how do I transfer this data, and keep control of it. Ideally, your CRM would plug in directly.
Right.
If your new hosting provider doesn't store credit cards, locally, you kind of got yourself in a conundrum if you're not ready to step into the upgraded version of the CRM, but you also need to do this now. You're kind of in that middle spot where I don't know if it's going to help you to get rid of the old site, if that makes sense. Yes,
it makes total sense. And you're right. It is a gap that I am in, and I should think it that way, either by the bullet of I'm paying the extra with the CRM.
Yeah. One of the things that's nice when you do get that.
Even if I pay that, I still think that I won't have the facility that my clients go to my website to register. I need to, probably. I guess if they do provide that, I should go ahead and try that one, right? But
and again, there's all sorts of different ways of doing it. Whether or not you need to actually store credit cards, you just need to process them once. If you need to create a recurring, I don't know what you're doing with the credit cards. I try to avoid having credit card information. I mean,
we have to for many reasons, and especially because our clients are recurring clients, and they could be calling me from the middle of the sea, and I can at that moment start getting, let me have this, what is the credit card code, and they want me to have it on file so I can handle their stuff on their behalf. And of course that expires, so we have updates and things like that.
Okay.
So it is necessarily any changes they made, we have to have a handy for the suppliers.
Right. Okay, I see. Because you're running, it's not a specific recurring or whatnot, so you have to have that. Yeah. Again, it's hard for me without knowing even more information to really give you concrete suggestions.
But if in case I have to do something temporary, if right now I cannot sign for the fully version of the database, another form and securing the transfer besides JOTS forms, what is that? There's one very common, JOTS or something. I don't know which other I could use as forms, as an information collector. Let's say I won't collect credit cards, but I will collect everything else. What do you know that I could use as a template?
Third-party form builders, I don't use a lot. We typically build everything internally, so I don't know how much help I'd be with a third party, so honestly. There's several third-party shopping carts, several third-party invoice systems and CRMs that I've used, everything from SharpSpring to Infusionsoft to One Shopping Cart that do some of those things.
I have been exposed and learned a lot about Infusionsoft, but my company is too small for that.
Yeah, no, I'm not saying, yeah, I'm not even saying that that's a viable option in this case. I'm just saying that's typically how we do it. So I don't have a very, oh gosh, I can't think of any time I've ever used just a standalone third-party form builder. Everything tends to have more functionality than that. So I don't really have a suggestion for just that. And again, there's several form builders that built into websites or even WordPress sites that we have there.
Good. Well, thank you. I think that it's still a good point about, you helped me clarify my situation, where I am between this point and the other.
Yeah. Now, again, I would. There's some more information that I don't have to help you out that. I'm happy to chat another time. But I think I'm going to be grasping for a little bit of straws here, not necessarily sure of the technical aspects of things, because I'm kind of guessing on a couple things here.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you, thank you. I think we lost Joyce, but I have Shannon muted too.
Shannon, do we still have you?
Tony, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you loud and clear.
In the chat, I was asking for your website because I think it's super interesting. My market, the travel agents, I think will be a very huge market for you because a lot of us have amazing content and we just don't have it all together. And I think that that could be a good market. I have access. I belong to a couple of organizations of travel agents as well. So if you send me, if you put your website, I think that I might be able to spread any small information about what you could do for them.
Yeah, the website now is just a landing page until it comes up. My old website's mipprinting.com, and that's kind of old, but the new one, it'll have more. It's on the works right now. So
whenever you're ready, what you said about your niche, I think we all fall in there. We have amazing content.
Yeah.
We pretty much like social media and all that, but we don't have it all together to actually be productive.
Well, it'll be a couple more weeks. It'll be live, but once I get past the next week or two, maybe we can set up a meeting, a one-on-one, and talk a little bit more, and I can show you some sample stuff too. What we're doing.
Great.
So
that's great.
Sounds good. I was trying to find a website for you. Where is it here? It's called it was hellosigns.com, but that's more for legal documents that you can do online. But I'm sure if you Google, let me ask around. I got a couple of good guys that there may be some I know that there's some third party what you want, but they're going to charge. They have a few a month free, but then if you do quite a bit, like anything else, they'll charge monthly fees.
I pay originally just one time for the forms and the SSL, but my website included this with my annual charges.
Yeah.
So, it was pretty good. But now I don't have that in the new one. But the new one performs better, but I just haven't been able to be 100% because of these forms. I'm still getting leads from the other one.
Right.
It's really...
I moved. Is this any better?
Yes.
Oh, yay! Other than I look a little splotchy. Awesome. Thank you, Josh. Thank you, Tony. Joyce, can we hear you now?
I don't think so.
Yes.
Yay!
Yes?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, wow. Okay. That's great.
So go ahead and share for our replay viewers a little bit about yourself and
Okay, great.
have anything to contribute. I don't know if you heard the last thing, and then I do have some questions.
There she goes again.
She goes on to pause.
Frozen.
Frozen.
That's a beautiful picture.
From people that replay. Man.
Yeah. Okay. Should I go, Shannon?
Yes.
Okay. Thanks. So I'm really glad to be here tonight. So I'm Joyce White Nelson, and my background really is as a national educational leader, and I transformed my expertise and skills into the business segment about 10 years ago. So what I did was work with, and I do now work with individual entrepreneurs. I work with organizations and corporations as a business catalyst. So as an innovation strategist, what I used to work as, like Josh has transitioned a little bit. I'm just like a little more ancient than you, Josh. A lot of systems analysis for organizations, and so how I use that for people now is I've developed a pretty huge global network. So I help create joint ventures for people and systems and strategies to take their individual outcomes, what they so desire, to the next level. So whether Joyce Ventures is a group of people, and whether it's myself assisting or I bring in teams that assist depending on what the intended outcome is of the individual. That's what I do. Work with people. So my particular contribution to this team is in the area of people of business. So in business, there's people, products, and processes. I do work with processes, but particularly people, and how to measure that behaviorally and how to get to the intended outcomes through valuing people in our organization, whether that's one person, 5 people, or 5,000.
That's great. Thank you, Joyce. Okay, and welcome, welcome. So any other questions? Anybody else want to join in on the mastermind? Josh, do you have anything that you would like support with?
Well, real quick, I would like to mention FormStack was one of those tools that I know one of my clients has used. So you might want to jot that down, take a look at it. I haven't looked at it in a while, but I do know a client who used it very efficiently. I had to Google it, try to remember what he used. So just FormStack. FormStack, yeah. So I know it collects credit cards and all that fun stuff. So
Excellent, thank you.
there was one. I wanted to leave you at least something. As far as support with us,
Orange.
there you go. I like it. I like it. I like it a lot. Our big thing now is she has so much orange. I love it. But no, we've been growing hand over fist lately. The biggest thing with us is systems. We're constantly evolving and growing our systems. One of the things when you go from, gosh, it was just me 3.5 years ago, and then we added 2 people, and then added 5 people, so here we are at 10 people now, and making everything smooth and streamlined. Does anybody have suggestions for when it comes to growing very, very quickly and very, very rapidly, ideas for streamlining the team, any kind of team building elements, those things? I know, Joyce, you're a people person, so this might be something you may be able to answer, but I don't necessarily have any specific challenges. We don't have any elements like as our problems I can point at, but any kind of input or ideas for that as we grow as a company, we add different team members and continuing to have the same synergy. Obviously, as you grow, you have less. You keep the same family synergy, type thing. It becomes interesting.
Well, Josh, it's the common theme of every Friday for Undercover Boss, of losing touch. As you scale up, you lose touch with the people. So do you use any sort of profile, learning style, or personality profile to assess people so they understand how they see themselves and how others see them?
The disc profile?
The disc?
Mm-hmm.
No, I'm not speaking of the disc, but do you use the disc?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I can share another one with you.
Mm-hmm.
Because the disc doesn't give you a lot of information of how others see you. It gives you information about you, but the perception, because perception is reality. So if we want to work on teams, we have to understand how others see us, and then being well matched on those teams, it's really helpful. There's another one by Profit Marketing here actually in Green Bay that I don't use, only because it doesn't really serve my clients, but it might serve you.
Okay.
And it puts people into sort of family type structures, and you might be interested in that. So I can get you both of those links so you could try them.
That'd be great.
Okay.
Also, Josh, you're in a great position scaling, and it seems like you got that culture going. There's a good book, E-Myth Revisited, Michael Gerber, but they have a coaching also if you go to the website.
Okay.
It seems like if you don't have a coach or mentor, you're probably primed for it right now. And one that knows systems and growth. I look into that.
Yeah, well, I love the book. Absolutely read the book several times, actually.
I did the audiobook too.
Okay.
And I took their free 1 hour coaching session, and it's something that's on my bucket list to use down the road when I'm ready.
Okay. I for sure.
Can you hear me okay?
Yeah.
I heard you.
Okay, so I have a couple of things, Josh, that I found really, I went from myself with an assistant to ended up having 21 people on my team, and it was really intense growing pains. And one of the things there was a couple things that I found that was key, especially as a CEO, is I really had to set, like I had a day where I love the open door policy, but it got so out of I couldn't function with all of the distractions that once a week I would meet with each individual and they would come in with a list of what it is they wanted to go over, and I had an assistant take notes and keep an Excel sheet of what the tasks were, who needed to do what, and really project manage what was going on. And so it took a while, but it eventually trained everybody to really organize their time and prepare for when they were meeting with me. So that was a huge shift on me and the whole everything that was happening. And then every Wednesday we took turns doing our team building thing. Was each person would take turns finding a fun activity that we would do, and we'd usually do it for about a half hour, and we did things like one person brought in finger paints. Another time we played tag across the street in the parking lot. One person came in and did meditation, and it was so great because we took that half hour every week and tried something new, did something fun, but each person kind of came to the table with what it was. I mean, we didn't judge whatever it was. It could be reading something, it could be anything, but that really gave us the culture of teamwork, and it helped me as a leader be able to manage all of these people, because I was always putting out fires, and so I couldn't really move to that next level when everything to everybody was a fire. Right. If that makes sense.
No, absolutely, yep. And I see that already. I just had a talk with one of my guys today. So okay, you need to come in here with a list. You can't come in here 4 times, 5 times in a day. So I absolutely.
And for them, for them to know on the schedule helped them. We had to say, here is the schedule and here's what we're going to do, so that they knew that time was to they could look forward it and prep for it, and it was every single week. They were more important than my customers. I don't mean to be mean, but it was like all the customers worked around them. And one last thing, Josh, is where I had the biggest transformation as a leader and how to grow into that CEO, managing 21 people and all the different things, 19 different states. I worked with an organizational psychologist. And most people bring in an organizational psychologist when the company's broken or they're very high level making a ton of money. And I have to tell you, I worked with an organizational psychologist for about 2 years, and she, Joyce, you remind me a lot of what she did. I'm not surprised if you don't have some of that in your background. And I've worked with 2, a man and a female. But I think anytime you're implementing change, anytime you're hiring new people, systems, these individuals just have a different brain. And so I learned leadership skills that were, I mean, I am forever grateful on hiring, on feedback. You know, whenever we were doing the 30-day reviews or 60-day reviews, it wasn't, we had a form where they were reviewing me, and just there was so much that she brought to the table that I felt like we had a very conscious business practice, which led me to doing the Conscious Business Award, kind of like we're doing at this next event. I wanted to recognize businesses that were doing what you're doing, Josh. I mean, you're really about team. You're really looking at the environment. You're looking at all of these things and team building. I mean, you said I want to do team building, and so all of that stuff doesn't necessarily, to me, it does impact the bottom line, but most people, you know, they're so focused on the bottom line that they don't look at that. So an organizational psychologist, I'm hoping to bring in 1 or 2 over the next, 12 months into the summit, because to me they are really key. And again, Joyce, I know you have, I've worked with you enough, and I know that you have some of those skills already.
Awesome.
Thanks for letting me ramble. I'm passionate about
I just put one in the link here, the About Me card. And then the other one, I actually have a subscription to, so I'll send you a free assessment, but you can read about this About Me card and see how that might apply to matching employees, aligning employees with your brand, all that kind of stuff it does. So a friend of mine is actually rebranding that as far as graphically, because it's a little juvenile looking. So try not to have that put you off, and look at the content. I will send you another one, another assessment that I use that gives you actually about 20 pages of content. So I'll do that. It'll take me a little bit to get my link up for that. So this is the general one. You can read about that. But those are local people, so I could actually on LinkedIn introduce you to the developers of that if you'd like.
Okay, yeah, I'd love to.
Okay.
And Ceci's waving.
I just have this thought listening to you, Josh, that I'm sure this is exactly what you're doing. You are hiring the attitude and training the skill, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, because that's the way you have the team you have, and things work the way it seems like your company is growing. Everybody's having clarity on their responsibilities, so there's no issues. And I hope you're doing the me time, like Shannon says. We all need that, because it's true about. I felt that way, putting up fires every single day, and it just takes a lot of you and our creativity and everything, our state of mind. So with Joyce also, I had my Mondays. Mondays were mine, and of course I wanted to make believe that they were all mine, but at least I had it in calendar. It was for me. So hopefully you can make that your time for yourself.
Makes sense.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Ceci, put your website up there.
I will. Let me go back to
He wants to see all your orange.
yeah.
Boy.
The chat. Okay. Remove things. Now it is. It's so funny because it keeps popping to ask me to join another Hangout. Oh, I don't know why.
Yes. Okay, so Josh, was that helpful?
Sure. Yeah. Thank you guys for that.
A little different than you expected, I'm sure.
Yeah, like I said, we're always looking for how to grow a team, and the team building, and it becomes more complex the more people you add to it.
Yes. So one of the questions in the that was left in the survey was they are looking for, it says, just launched my book and looking to find places to speak and get my message out on stages. What are some ideas to get speaking gigs? So I can answer that one a little bit. There's, if you want to do, I love retreatfinders.com. Depending on what type of speaker you want to be, Retreat Finders is the largest, one of the largest events where you can speak on all different types of topics, from business to different topics, whether it be health, well-being. And it's a great way because they're actually there sharing everything about their event. I've also looked at local conference centers, because many times they'll promote what's coming up in an event. Hiring a promoter is one of the ways. Also, seeing if there's a promoter in your area that can do that. You can speak at Rotary. ABWA, which is American Women Business Association, is always looking for individuals. So, and having that speaker kit ready, or the book, is really key. I know Josh helps develop kits and packages and branding. The book is great, but also when you're competing with other people, the more you stand out with your brand and whether it be testimonials or even speaker topics on your speaker sheet, that can be helpful. Anybody else want to add? Josh, do you have any 2 cents on that?
A lot of my speaking has originated from, it started with the local stuff, chambers of commerce, grew into AWA, and then eventually began to get invited to the colleges. Once I got into the colleges, then I got asked to speak other places. But right now I speak at all the local colleges, community college, UCF, FIT, at least once or twice a year at the different classes. I get invited to different classes and whatnot. So it started at the lower level and it built back up. It really depends on the target there. For me, like I said, I got exposure in the chambers, and that led to other things.
Awesome. And did you have a speaker sheet or anything together? Was it just kind of word of mouth?
It was mostly word of mouth, like I said, because people would hear me speak in one place, they'd ask for the next one. But we had a speaking page on the website, rockpapersimple.com. Under About, there's a speaking page, and it talked about me and what we spoke at and places I've spoken at. And I used to have multiple topics in there, the topics I'd speak on. Now it's just the one, because it makes a lot more sense for my business if we're speaking on the marketing-focused aspect of our websites. I used to have a LinkedIn talk, and I had this talk, and I had that talk, and what I found actually was the LinkedIn talk was the most popular of my talks. I was asked to speak all the time on LinkedIn, but it didn't have a value. At the end of it, I didn't. At the end of it, I hadn't built my credibility and my expert status as a web designer or as a brander. I built it as a LinkedIn guy, and that didn't help the bottom line at the end of the day. And while I loved that talk, I ended up dropping it in favor of some of the other more powerful talks.
Speaking of talks, since we have you on the topic, real quick, Joyce, can you tell them about what you're going to be talking about at the upcoming Business Acceleration Summit on September 17th? I know you're on the marketing panel, so people will be able to ask you questions in the Q&A and the Mastermind game, but do you mind sharing your talk for the summit?
Josh, that's you, I think.
Oh, sorry, it broke up. So you were talking to me?
Yeah. Yes. Can you share your talk for the summit?
Yeah, no, absolutely. I'm going to be doing the 7 steps to a marketing-focused website, which is my core talk. And here at Rock Paper Simple, when I first started the company, I built a methodology. So back in the day, I built websites, and they were just online brochures. You came, said, I want a website. I said, great, tell me what you want. I'd sit here and wait for you to tell me exactly what you wanted, and I would lay it out exactly how you wanted it. And if it worked, great. If it didn't, fine. I was an engineer. And so I really, truly didn't, I'm a programmer, I thought like an engineer, and I executed great code. But nobody cares if the code is great. They care if it makes them money. And so through my time, I told you, with the marketing agency, I learned branding and marketing and understood ROI and began to think more like a marketer and a business person and said, okay, if I'm going to create a website that creates results, I'm going to create a website that's marketing focused, I need a process. What sets me apart? What is my formula that makes it different? And I came up with the 7 steps to a marketing focused website. So the idea was, what are the 7 steps that me and my team have to follow through to consistently create a website that is results based and marketing focused? So those steps are what I go through in my talk. So I say, hey, here, 1 through 7, here are the steps that I take you through. Really starting with number 1, which is shut up and listen. And then I immediately back off and say, well, it's kind of a lie because first I ask questions, then I shut up and listen. And that's step one. And then you go slowly move through the steps, through planning, through directing traffic, etc. And at the end of the process, we have a marketing-focused site. My talk is a lot of fun because not only do I go through it, but I try to get audience participation. We make up a fake company. We talk as if we were building a website. I deem certain people in the room the CEO, the chief marketing officer, and I ask questions as if I was interviewing them in a meeting. And we build a website. We strategize and plan a website. It's almost like being in one of our planning sessions. And at the end of it, we've decided, what are we presenting? How are we being them-centric? What are our call to actions? What are our most important pages on this website that we're creating? What are our messages? What is our main benefit statement we're trying to communicate? And we do all this for a fictitious company. And gosh, have I had some and it's all made up on the spot. Like I don't plan what the name of this company is. It's all from the audience. So you end up with some really, really hilarious stuff if you're working with the right set of people. If not, you end up with some really boring examples, which has happened too. But I've had everything from a ping pong ball company that had titanium ping pong balls that glowed in the dark, and that was their benefit statement. I've had dog walking, whose primary benefit was for drunk people, so they could call it. It was a 24/7 service. Who we could call. You could call at 2 a.m. and say, "Hey, I'm worried about my dog. Please walk my dog." And so there was all these really silly business ideas that would come from the audience, and then we would have to pretend to market and build a website for. So that's kind of what we do with it. We've had some hilarious ones over the years. I've been doing this talk for 5 or 6 years. A lot of these are at colleges, and the teachers will bring up their favorite examples over the years. But that's just an example of what I do with it. And then I try to cram that all in a short period of time, whatever time you give me to talk. But that's basically what I'm going to be going over, is really how to build that website. It's marketing focused, is branded, and converts traffic. So we talk about that.
Awesome. Oh, thank you so much. I'm going to actually snippet this and put this on our website so people can see. Before I go to Joyce, because I know Joyce had some feedback too, I just wanted to add one of the things, Josh, that I love that you do is that you also help generate content.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's a big part of all that you do. I know that's where a lot of people get stuck.
Oh yeah.
And have it actually have power and emphasis and the results, as you said. So we're so lucky to have somebody that you do it all. It's not just let's wait until we get. Yeah, you can do that. You can have people give you content. You will actually do it for them.
We just did 66 pages of pain management content. Pain management content. Yeah, we can do content. If we can do 66 pages on pain management, we can write about anything.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Josh. Okay, Joyce, I know you've spoke all over cruise ships. You've gotten out there in a big way. So Joyce, before you go, I just want to say that you can also apply this to radio. Any business, we want to be out in front of people. So all of this advice that you're getting, please look that it can, see how you can implement this in your business. So Joyce, it's on you.
Yeah, so I wanted to answer the person that asked a little bit about their book and getting speaking gigs a little bit more. I wanted to respond to that. Of course, I need a little more information before I respond, but in a generic response, if you could listen to what Josh said, what he's really was doing was called bottom-up marketing. So he's starting from, trying to start at the top, at the CEOs or at the top stakeholders, but just speaking where you can speak. And then those people speak. If you're good, then they'll speak on your behalf, and they go out like little pawns or little soldiers and get more speaking gigs for you because they say, hey, we should get this person in, we should get this person in, because what they said, if you give value and over-deliver your content, then other people will go out for you and spread the word. So then you'll have little marketers for you. So that's called bottom-up marketing. So that's a good strategy. And also then through what Shannon recommends, be ready and be sure to ask for that. Have that speaker page like Josh said he had, and those kind of things, because then people will look you up and say, oh, they talk about this. So you don't really wait. You go out and offer yourself, and then be ready for your what I call the 20-minute. You have a 7-minute core of what you're going to speak about that can expand to about 20 minutes, which is a lunchtime meeting. And so then you can talk at lunch, and then you have little 7-minute modules that add on to that so that you can speak longer, and then an hour, and then that creates a half a day, and then you create a full day. So you build little modules on. So then Shannon, so I'd have to know more about what they've already done, in order to answer that a little bit more strategically than generically. And if they're doing anything on video, and lots of other options. So what I'm going to be speaking on, is that what you wanted me to answer next, Shannon?
I would love it. Yes. No, you did. Go ahead.
Okay.
We're just at the top of the
I'm
hour,
going to be speaking on authentic networking, 3 simple steps for returns and joint ventures. So I've developed a system of initiate, nurture, and sustain in networking. And networking sometimes gets a little bit of a bad rap in terms of like, been there, done that. That hasn't worked for me. That's only for extroverts. You have to have a natural inclination. Well, you don't have to have a natural inclination. Actually, you can be an awesome introvert and be an extraordinary networker. So you can be both of those things. And one does not negate the other, but there is a system, and there are action steps for each level sort of that you go through. It's not linear, but there are different levels of initiate, nurture, and sustain, and it's at that sustain level where you've earned the right to ask for joint ventures, and those sort of start manifesting before you. So that's what I'm going to be talking about. Maybe like I'm going to sit in the front row for Josh, because that sounds like a lot of fun. So I'm going to like skinny up next to somebody if I don't get a front row seat or sit on the floor, so that I can participate in that game show, that sounds like. And now I'm going to have to up my game a little bit in case I'm following him or something. I don't know. So, but we're going to have a little bit of fun too. So I'm planning a few other things. Mine might be a little bit more, the different styles. Variety is the spice of life. I think that's Josh Morrison. Morrison. What's his first name? The guitar guy. So, yeah. Jim Morrison. Yeah. So that's
Perfect.
what I'm doing.
Well, thank you so much for joining us tonight. And those of you, we have been talking about the Business Acceleration Summit, businessaccelerationsummit.com. It's being held September 16th and 17th at the Crown Plaza Oceanfront. We're still accepting awards. We have, humanitarian, conscious business, innovative medicine, and you can learn more about that at businessaccelerationsummit.com/awards. So if there's somebody in your community or somebody that, in your office or your work that you want to be recognized, this is a great way to honor them. The summit, those of you that have been to the summit, is we've had a lot of people say, well, it's all about awards. No. Instead of the keynote presenter at dinner, we're doing awards, and we are really upping our game. We've had some amazing people come to the table, so this next one is going to be our biggest and our best. We're rolling out our event app, and a lot of cool surprises are happening. So our next Mastermind Monday is going to be on the 29th of August. You can sign up at the businessaccelerationsecrets.com, or when you sign up, there's a button that will say, do you want to sign up for all of the webinars? And you can go ahead and click, and then you're automatically getting that information, some of the other stuff that might be happening, free trainings and stuff. So that's August 29th at 7:30. And thank you so much. I've had a few texts of people that can't get in. Gelda Hustler, who's one of our the Wisdom Society mentors. She'll be there. But thank you so much, Josh, for being here tonight. Thank you, Joyce, for donating your time. Thank you, Ceci, for stepping up. And Tony, oh, hi, Marty. Marty's here. Marty's going to be pitching at our pitch tank this time, and she just had a board meeting. So we are so grateful that you took your time, and thank you guys. We'll see you in a couple of weeks. Have a great night.
Happy week.
Have a good night.
Happy.
Bye for now.
Bye-bye.
Bye.